Okay, so just gonna go over my trades today. I did take one loss, one break even, and another technically break even as well. I'll go over the third one, why I'm saying technically, but um, yeah, the let me go over the first trade. So the reason I'm on NQ right now and not MNQM or MNQU is because I went on here because the contract for MNQM is up soon, and so the charts are going to be a bit weird. So I went on here first, and so I'll show the first trade I took here. So the first trade I took. Now I'm okay with trying to short this market. That wasn't my issue. Obviously, we're pushing up higher and whatever. Not much, not many pullbacks going on. Okay. My issue is this. Okay. So we didn't take the previous daily low. We took the previous daily high. Okay, cool. But we didn't take the previous daily high. I'm pretty sure when I got in this first trade, we hadn't taken yet. Or maybe we had. Let me check. Previous daily high. I guess we had taken it. Yeah, we took it at that point. So we took the previous daily high when I was entering this trade. Problem was I was entering this trade and we didn't have a sweep. What the hell was I doing? This is the first time that I've broken my rules since I started. Well, started with the evaluation account and then now into the Express account. This is the first time I've broken my rules in like 7-8 months. Now, this wasn't me breaking my rules on purpose. This was me just kind of not learning a new model, because I'm not learning a new model, but what's the word? I'm not learning a new model. That's not really what I'm doing. Like, everything's still the same. I'm entering off of inversion fair value gaps now instead of both. I'm no longer entering off of fair value gaps, and I'm also not waiting for break even or break of structures on, like, if an inversion fair value gap prints and I have reason to suspect it goes lower and we have a sweep, then I'm not waiting for that break of structure as well. So that's really the only difference that I've made in my strategy. Everything else is the same. I'm still looking for liquidity sweeps, and so that's why I'm prefacing that saying I'm not really changing much with my strategy. I should still have recognized this, that we hadn't swept liquidity yet, and I wouldn't have been in this trade at all, and we would have just had a break-even day. But I was so caught up with the fact that we had inverted this fair value gap here, and technically you can say, oh, we swept this high. Okay, I don't know if that's really enough for me to say that I want to enter. What I should have waited for, and what I did end up entering off of eventually for the second trade, was I should have waited for this high to get taken. That's what I should have waited for, because that's a proper sweep on a higher time frame. And then we could have gone from there, right? And at that point you can consider that your higher time frame PD array, that being like the liquidity. And anyway, long story short, I did not wait for that. I got so caught up with the fact that we had inverted this. I did get a little unlucky here. Granted, I should not have been in the trade at all regardless, but I did get unlucky in the fact that we didn't break. All I needed was for us to go a little bit lower. Like, literally, we stopped on my break even. I needed it to trade underneath this, just literally a tick underneath this, and I would have been break even. And we didn't do that. And so I didn't put my stop break even, and then I got stopped out. So that is that. That was the trade. And honestly, I'm happy that I lost money on this trade, because it's teaching me more of a lesson than had I just broken even. I broke my rules and then I break even. Nah, I broke my rules. I should lose money. So I broke my rules. It was accidental. Got so caught up in the fact that, again, we inverted this fair value gap, that I was like, oh, okay, that's enough for me. I completely forgot. And where's the sweep on liquidity? Well, it wasn't there. We were literally just building liquidity with this wick here at this support level, or resistance level, excuse me. And so that was the first trade that I screwed up on. Now, the second trade I took on here. We have to move to this chart, is what it is. We have to move to this chart for the next two trade. No, well, I'll show you the reason the third one was weird, but okay. Second trade, okay, cool. Now we've taken this high, cool. So I have my sweep. Okay. Now I'm looking for an inversion fair value gap to print. So I went on the 2 minute because that was the highest time frame I could go where we had inverted that. And so we inverted this fair value gap. We did break structure. There's just a cherry on top. I don't need that to happen, but we did break structure. And so this candle entered me. Let me hide this right now. This candle entered me here, entered my trade. And then what I did was we came back up, we made this low, and I said, all right, once we trade underneath this low, I'll move my stop to break even. So once we traded under here, right, with this candle, I set my stop to break even. And I was just letting it play. Hopefully it would have hit my take profit, but it ended up stopping me out break even. Now another weird thing that happened with this trade, and again, this is me trading when these contracts are closing and it's screwing everything up, was the fact that on here I'm using MNQM because technically there's more volume on this contract still, and the contract hasn't closed. But on Top Step, they're using MNQU. And so I didn't really recognize that until I got in the trade and I realized, oh, what? Why am I trading at less than a 1-to-1? It was like this or some shit. I don't know. It was less than a 1-to-1. So definitely not an easy trading day with the contracts closing and all that BS. So it actually did mess me up on 2 of my trades today. This one I was lucky enough to be break even, and I followed my rules, so it's not like I broke even too quickly or anything like that. Like, I followed my rules, cool. And then the third trade, right? We'll get rid of this one now. Oh, hang on. The third trade here, I entered off of us inverting this fair value gap. We tap back into it. That's when I got entered. Stop above the highs. Yes, there's equal highs above, but at the end of the day, there's equal lows underneath. And in my opinion, because we had swept this liquidity here, it makes more sense for us to at least tap into this 15-minute fair value gap, which we ended up doing. So my final target was this 15-minute fair value gap. And at this point, 1 hour fair value gap. But I had my suspicions that we might only tap into this 15-minute, this tiny one here, because of how bullish we are. And there's also, obviously liquidity that we had to take to get to that low, or to get to that area. So had I still been in this trade, I would have been break even here when we took this low here. So I would have been out of this trade break even regardless. Now I was out of this trade break even because of a different reason. I entered this trade with 4 contracts because 4 contracts would have been risk off. Risking well less than 0.5%, risking 160 Um, but guess what? Look at this candle on the contract, the September futures contracts that the June futures contracts didn't have, right? So that screwed me up. I was like, oh my god, okay, now I ended up being with 4 contracts fully frisked on with 0.5% of my account, and I didn't like that, so I said, dude, I'm out. I'm out of here. I don't want to. I did not want to risk that much. I the I don't like. I'm done with the trading today. Like I just don't like how everything's happening. Over complication with the contracts. Just get me out of here. I don't care. It's not worth putting money on today. Losing any more capital. So that was that. So I'm down $158 on the day. So losing day. Shouldn't have been a losing day. I broke my rules. I can blame that on trying to learn a new model, but it's really not learning a new model. Again, like I said, this model is extremely similar to what I was using before. Especially, liquidity does not change. I need a liquidity sweep. I needed it for my last model. And really every model, whether it's focusing on that or not, every profitable model kind of works around liquidity. So even if you're not focused on it, you're using it, and you don't even know it. So, look, the first one, I'm mad at myself, but at the end of the day, I can appreciate human error. I'm a human, and I got caught up in the fact that we inverted this, and I didn't even think twice. And that's on me. And what's good about something like this is an easy fix. Like, I know what I did wrong. When you lose and you followed your trading plan, it's like, okay, well that's easy too, because it's like, all right, losses happen. I know this model is going to play out over time, and it's fine. But it's also easy when you make human error, as long as you're not doing it constantly. And I've done a good job. This is, again, my first time in 8 months of actually breaking my rules for my trading plan. And this is just me being stupid and careless and trying to be quick to enter, and I didn't realize that we actually didn't sweep liquidity. And we were leaving this high. So that's that. That was the trading day. We'll be back at it tomorrow. Hopefully, not that today's price action wasn't clean, but hopefully better price action, more conducive for our model tomorrow, because today we pumped very nicely. If you look at the higher time frames, you're like, wow, okay, cool. I like that. I really do. That's clean price action. And when you go lower, it's still clean. Like, we have a nice pump here. It's just I was never given an entry, ever. There was no entry on the way up. And I, again, should not have been looking to take sells until we had swept something. So it would have had to been this, or if we were on the 15-minute and we created like a internal high and we swept that, and I'm fine. But it had to be something that we swept, and I don't like this. This isn't enough for me to be like, oh, maybe had we swept this high one more time, but especially with equal highs here and resting here, should not have taken that. So yeah.